if you've been on our page before, you'll know that we're all about teaching kids and teens meditation and mindfulness. And we run an international training program that we've done for about 20 years, both in person and online. And we're really dedicated in helping young people practice meditation skills. We're a little bit different to the way it's maybe taught or the way you think it should be taught. So I try and introduce some really nice ideas frequently to people to just help you get started. And the reason I'm sharing this meditation tool, a Ninja Power, is it's called a Ninja Power because one of our students who was taking the training program had submitted her assessment for us to look at. And in reviewing this, one of the children that she taught had called this meditation tool a Ninja Power because it made her feel so good. So what she was actually teaching her, what we were talking about, is something we call mudras. And you've maybe seen them when you've looked at people practicing meditation. You may have also practiced them. And a typical mudra is one where we have the tips of our fingers connected on each of our hands, or there's also, it's all to do with the hands really, and sometimes people call it yoga for the hands as well. And for me, there's two different things that happen with the mudras, and they're such a great tool to teach for meditation practice. First of all, the connection of the fingers brings together the energy of the body. So even holding a simple mudra like this, where you have like the tip of the first finger and your thumb together, helps to connect the universal consciousness and the individual's consciousness. So it helps to settle the mind. It helps us to feel more grounded and safe. And it's one of the ones I really like to teach children if they're feeling a bit anxious or they feel the need to feel a bit more safe or grounded. We often use it when we're teaching. And the way to do that is to either have the hands up, that's a more receptive pose, tips of the fingers connected on each hand, or pointing down the way, and that's a more grounding performance of the mudra. Obviously we have lots of nerve endings in our hands too, so there's a lot of sensitivity about the hands, and our nervous system is constantly on alert, picking up information, feeding it through our system, our brain, and interpreting it, and then helping us to try and maintain balance. So the nervous system is also responding to this connection that's being made there. And so you've got these two interpretations of what we call a mudra, aka a Ninja Power. Now, the two I'm going to show you today, they're really good for you to practice as well as teach your kids, okay? So the one that was being taught is what we call the grounding mudra, and it's the tip of the first finger and the thumb together, and it's just holding it. Now, if you're teaching your kids meditation and they're more familiar with meditation, what you can do is you can incorporate that into the start of the meditation practice. You can really bring attention to it as well. With the breath, you can even practice with breath in with the fingers touching, breath out with the fingers open, just so they bring a little bit of awareness to that part of their body and they start to play around with it and be consciously noticing, what it is that's going on there. And then amongst that, in the background, if you like, the subconscious, the nervous system, everything is starting to come into a little bit more of a settled state. If they practice that, with you, that's great, but they can also do it on their own. So for example, if they're in a place in school or with a situation where they feel like they're a little bit out of their comfort zone, you can show them how to just have their hands in their pockets holding that mudra. It doesn't need to be that obvious to everyone else that they're doing it. That will bring around the same grounding, balancing sensation, feeling, energy-wise for them, whether or not they're doing it in a very concentrated way, whether they're just holding the mudra. Obviously, for me, I always think it turbocharges the effect of it if we are focused on it. But I know that from my own experience, I can hold a mudra in conversation with someone as well. It can be really useful for that. So that's one of the Ninja Powers. The other one is one that I taught my son recently. Now, I have to explain, my son is a teenage boy who, if you've ever tried to teach any teenagers anything, they kind of know it all, or they think they know it all. So they're quite difficult to teach, especially if you're connected to them, in a parental role. I totally get that. So the way I presented it to him is that this particular mudra would give him more confidence, particularly in certain situations. and particularly in relation to girls, because that's something that obviously he started to become interested in. So this is what I call the power mudra. And the power mudra, the ninja power, is just simply creating like a cathedral, connecting all the fingertips together. And then just holding that. You can hold it up, you can hold it down, you can hold it towards the ground, but just holding that and all the fingertips connecting. And maybe you've seen this before, and I suggest that you've probably seen it held by either famous people, particularly politicians. I don't know if they realize this is a hand mudra that's like thousands of years old, or whether they've been told it's a NLP, neuro linguistic programming technique. But nevertheless, it's used to give confidence, and you'll often see journalists, politicians holding this when they're speaking to journalists. So that's quite interesting. So look out for that now. And you can point it out to your teens as well if you're trying to teach them. And simply holding the mudra, again, it can be very discreet if they're at school, if they don't want everyone to know what they're doing. It's a very natural looking pose. It's like almost a contemplative pose. But if you're teaching them meditation and you're showing them how to use it, you could get them to hold that and really be aware of the fingertips touching. And it can take just a few seconds to a minute for them to practice. And it will have this very lovely, calming, centering, empowering sense within their energy system and within their nervous system. So these are the ninja powers, the meditation tools you can teach young people. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions about teaching meditation to young people, please let us know, because we've been doing this quite a long time, for the last 20 years. We run this program internationally. We know there's lots of choice now for people and lots of free things people can access, which is wonderful. And we also offer lots of free access to things too, which you can have a browse through our website. I'll put the link on this post. And the other thing to say is that, we have a YouTube channel, and you can also connect with me one-to-one just for a quick chat online if there's something, you really want to ask me about teaching children meditation. I've worked with all ages and abilities, everything including autism, ADHD, SEN, trauma, as well as kids without any of those issues. But to be honest, in this day and age and with everything going on in the world, I think anxiety and trauma are quite prevalent just now. So anything we can do to help our kids. So thank you for listening and have a wonderful day. And we'll see you next time. Next week, actually, I'm going to do one which is all about the amygdala and a brain hug, which is a really nice meditation tool. So look out for the live stream next week. You'll see it then. Thank you and bye for now.